bring in former special assistant to President Trump, Kelly Sadler. Kelly, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me, Grant.
Kelly, no surprise, the media wants to take this and say, well, the president just didn't care.
Yeah. Well, let's just look at the timeline, for example. On January 20th is when China declared that the COVID-19 was airborne. So the whole world knew at that point that this virus was airborne. Within 10 days, the president shut down travel to China, which you pointed out, the Democrats and Joe Biden said was a xenophobic move. You had Nancy Pelosi at that same time period going into Chinatown in San Francisco, telling people that they shouldn't be afraid and they should frequent Chinese businesses. You then had the president, within this 10-day time frame, declare a national emergency and create the coronavirus task force. This was all when he was undergoing impeachment, and the national news media was all focused on impeachment. It wasn't until March that he had this interview with Bob Woodward. And at March, this very same time frame, you had Jim Acosta in the Rose Garden asking the president, why does he seem to be downplaying this virus? And the president said the same thing that he said to Bob Woodward. Listen, I don't want to induce mass hysteria. We need to keep the nation calm. We have this under control. At the same time, you know, you were going into your grocery store, you couldn't find toilet paper, Lysol, cleaners. The nation really was at, the media was now filling the void from impeachment to this coronavirus panic. And we really needed leadership out of the White House to tell us, stay calm, we've got this handled, and the president did.
I'm so glad you brought that up, Kelly, because it went from impeachment, and when they failed at that, then it went to all-out chaos in the media's mind. What did they want him running around like his pants were on fire, screaming and yelling that everybody get out and run for the hills? You can't have a president do that. Of course he wanted calm. And, today, I actually was shocked because I criticize Dr. Fauci all the time for being wrong so often. But today he came to the president's rescue. I want to roll this soundbite from Dr. Fauci.
So did you get a sense that he was or wasn't playing this down?
No, I didn't. I didn't get any sense that he was distorting anything. I mean, in my discussions with him, they were always straightforward about the concerns that we had.
You know, it's amazing, Kelly, just because he's straightforward about things, that's not the way the media does it. They want to sensationalize everything, and so now they're trying to hang this on the president.
That clip, because the media loves Dr. Fauci, right? His word is gospel, but yet this interview that he did earlier today is not being reported at all. Maybe it contradicts the narrative that they want to put out there. Listen, we have got to expect this, and you said it at the forefront. There's going to be a bombshell report every day now until November 3rd. And a lot of this stuff will be revisionist history. A lot of it will be sourced from anonymous sources. We've just got to look at the president's record, what he's done, and try to tune out all of the rhetoric coming from the left.
All right. The president responded today as well. I'll run a quick clip of that, and then I want to ask you something else about the Atlantic story. But first, let's run the president.
Just another political hit job. But whether it was Woodward or anybody else, you cannot show a sense of panic, or you're going to have bigger problems than you ever had before. Please.
Kelly, you were a special advisor to the president. Are you with me that it's very dangerous when you let a president, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, sit down with the likes of Bob Woodward? Only bad things are going to happen out of that.
Oh, yes. But you know the president, and when you get to know the president, he's a salesman, right? And he thinks that he can win you over. And so sitting down, he likes to sit down with the likes of the New York Times and with Bob Woodward because he believes that after talking with them, they'll come over to his side. Kind of the failure in that is that these are hardened leftists, and no matter what you do, they're never going to, they want to see the destruction of your presidency.
Well, look, I'm glad he keeps a positive attitude about it. If it was me saying it, I'd say no more, Mr. President, no more. Lastly, look, Zach Fuentes, the deputy chief of staff, former under Kelly, has now said, I never heard the president call war dead, losers and suckers and all the like. This is another story I know the media is not going to want to acknowledge, but he was with the president at the time when they called off this trip to that cemetery.
Yeah, absolutely. The Atlantic story is completely bogus. I think you now have more than 20 White House officials who have completely refuted it, including John Bolton, who is no fan of the president. But you got to look at the timing of this. The timing of this. Look what the president did today. He announced further troop withdrawals out of Iraq and Afghanistan. So, of course, that, that maddens the neocons and some within the Pentagon who like these forever wars. And so the timing is very suspicious with the Atlantic story. And then, of course, with Joe Biden having an ad produced the same day as it was released.
Yeah, it is amazing. All the left wanted was to bring all of the troops back and no more of this stuff. The president's doing it, and they criticize him. I just got in a little disagreement with Oliver North. I like having a large presence there in the Middle East. I think it keeps terrorists at bay. But look, I don't agree with the president on everything, but I think the guy's doing the best that he can, and he certainly is set up better than anybody else that I know in this point in time to keep America safe and keep America going in the right direction. Kelly Sadler, always great to have you on the program. I appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
All right.